Hey, Jared.
Hey, Josh.
Why did the maestro go to jail?
His music was too good. It was a crime.
No. He got caught conducting himself poorly.
Oh, that's good. Bravo.
Hey, welcome back to Screen Time Film, a podcast where we take a director and review their filmography from oldest to newest. Currently at the tail end of Francis Ford Coppola in the 2000s. And yeah, today we're going to discuss the film Tetro.
Yes.
So, Jared, there's only room for one genius in this family.
Yeah. Same. That
Same
was
one.
Yeah. I was like, it's too good to not say.
Yeah, it was too good. So
You decide,
who's the genius of the two?
Yeah.
So,
or is it someone else? Or is it one of the other siblings?
No. So I'm Josh, and this is my co-host Jared.
Hello. Good to be here.
Yeah. This fine Monday afternoon when we're recording.
Very windy afternoon.
Yeah. Though it has died down a little bit.
Yeah.
So this film came out in 2009, so only 2 years after the last one. Rated R, 2 hours and 7 minutes. Benny travels to Buenos Aires to find his long missing older brother, a once promising writer who now a remnant of his former self. Benny's discovery of his brother's near finished play might hold the answer to understanding their shared past and renewing their bond. Directed by FFC, written by Mauricio Cartun and Francis Ford Coppola.
Okay.
Cinematographer, the Mahahi Malamora, I don't know, Junior, however we haven't said it different. Malamare, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Same guy from last two now?
Yep. Same for the
composer.
Final two.
Yeah.
And same with the composer, yep.
Oswald Gallijo?
Sure.
Galliov.
There you go. That sounds right.
Galliov. All right. Production costs.
Oh. I mean, it definitely looked like they filmed in Buenos Aires.
Yeah, locations look good.
I guess we might find out in trivia.
Mm-hmm.
I think this could be done very similar to last week's Youth Without Youth. And that was like, crazy cheap.
Mm-hmm.
That was like 3 million, 4 million, something like that. So let's go. I'm going to say 7 mil.
5 million. Again, because that was exactly what last one was.
It was 5 million last week's? Okay.
So then
Great.
Starting to wonder, because I know last week's was funded by his vineyard. So I wonder if it's just like, he's just cranking out about, 2.5 to 3 million in profits from the vineyard every year, and he's just like funneling it into funding a movie every 2 years.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Maybe.
Good strategy.
All right, so we've got smaller main cast here. Vincent Gallo, Alden Ehrenreich, right? Is that how you say his last name?
Yeah, Ehrenreich.
Ehrenreich, yeah, that's right. That's one of the few I've actually heard said. Alden Ehrenreich. Maribela Verdú, Sylvia Perez, Rodrigo de la Serna, and Eric Rivas.
Yep. I mean, I'm not even really, I've heard the name Vincent Gallo, but I wasn't even really familiar with him. Yeah. Even. Yeah, it was just Alden Ehrenreich was the only one for me.
Maribela, the lady who plays Miranda, like, she looked familiar.
She did.
She was in Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Maybe that's where I've seen her.
I mean, I've seen that. That's maybe
I
that
don't know.
is.
There's just like I was like she looked familiar, but I looked it up and there was nothing like major. Like I was like, oh yeah, it was. But then I was like, so
cool.
All right. Well, I think it's safe to assume we neither one of us has seen this film before.
Nope. Another one I never heard of even before.
So what'd you think?
I think you should go first because I always go first. I think.
Well, it's because I like in the intro, I've been talking most of the time.
Okay.
And it's like handing it off to you to talk a little bit.
All right.
I don't mind going first, but
no, I'll go.
That's why I do that.
Okay. I know sometimes I just like see like, initial from you first, but maybe in the future. No, I can start. This film reminded me of Rumblefish in a way. This is the black and white and kind of similar scale, I guess you could say. Also about brothers.
Yes.
So some similarities there as well.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's a slow burn. It was engaging for me though, and a little bit messy though. Not nearly as bad as Youth Without Youth though, plot wise. But my main thing is I really enjoyed the vibe of this movie. It was a nice. I mean, at Buenos Aires especially is just like a beautiful place to film this in. And yeah, just like the scenery and just some of the best parts I think are just when they're hanging out, even at like the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that was my main thing I liked. I liked the vibe a lot. So, yeah, I liked it.
Cool. Yeah. So I enjoyed this film as well.
Cool.
I think I kind of agree though that I just put it was a bit slow, a little long, I kind of feel. But yeah, in general, the vibe was good. Like I didn't write it down that way. I had not thought about the similarities to Rumblefish till you brought it up, and yeah, you're right. Like because it's like a trying to live up to his older brothers, kind of what he's set and similar here. Of course, mostly black and white, which they did Rumblefish. Though the black and white more reminded me of the like I was kind of thinking, what was it? And it was probably from a similar time frame. Wasn't there one of the other directors we covered that did like
the Coens?
No, not the Coens, but
so not the Billy Bob Thornton movie. Because I know we like that one.
Yeah, we did like that one, but no, I was thinking more the there's another one that had.
I'm trying to think what other black and white. We haven't done too many.
Yeah, I think it was.
I don't know,
or maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking because I also watched that that show not that long ago on Netflix.
Ripley.
That was all black and white. Maybe I'm thinking of that.
It definitely reminded me more of that. It's definitely obviously the lighting is a big factor in it too, but the black and white in this definitely was very different than Rumblefish though. So
yeah, the style of the black and white. Yeah.
Like I thought it looked really, really great in this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it was still cool, but obviously it was also way older. But I didn't like it as much in Rumblefish. But in general, I know you were higher on that movie than me, story wise and all that. But yeah, I guess we're pretty similar on this one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right, so let's get into it a little bit.
I don't have too much, like notes wise.
Yeah, I don't either a lot.
Okay.
Just because it's like you said, it's kind of slow. The overall story is kind of pretty basic, but so my first note, and just kind of talk about the opening scene. I really liked the opening scene where he shows up and the brother's in the other room, and then really does a great job of setting the dynamic and the characters have all three of them that are going to kind of be together for the most of the film in this apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the way they like obscure even seeing his face longer than, you know, just kind of to give him this like mystery and kind of who he is. And I just thought that was really well done. And
yeah, I think the opening scene was one of the best scenes, honestly. Now I'm thinking through the whole film again. It was a really cool opener and a great way, like you said, to set up these main three characters. And like I said, I think a lot of the stuff I liked the best was in that house. You know, those scenes in there where it's more just like one-on-one or all three of them talking. I think that was some of the best. I want to talk about our main cast a little bit, because I was thinking especially with Vincent Gallo, because I'm not really familiar with him. I didn't really like his performance in this. I really liked Alden Ehrenreich though. I thought he was great in this. He's great in pretty much anything I've seen him in. But with Vincent Gallo, he didn't really seem like that emotional when he needed to be in like emotional scenes.
Okay.
I don't know. It was just kind of weird. But like I said, complete opposite. Alden Ehrenreich was like great, and especially even those type of scenes. But I was also looking at just the way Vincent Gallo looks and talks. I kept thinking, I'm like, how much better would this movie be if he was Joaquin Phoenix? Because he reminded me a lot of him, especially from this time in 2009. And I think they looked more like with like Joaquin Phoenix and Alden Ehrenreich. I think it'd be more believable brothers wise. Plus, he's just, I think, a way better actor. But I kept thinking that the whole time, like that would have been perfect for this movie.
Yeah, that would have been. Yeah, that would have been an improvement, I'm sure. Not that, not that I like hated his performance, but
no, it was just at times that, yeah, I don't know.
It's like when I know what you're saying now. Like when there's those so few
he wasn't
moments
that present, like in these, especially the scenes where you really need to.
When he actually needed to like care a little bit, right? Like because most of the time, I think he's
very
nailed the
and,
like reserved, like just whatever, you know, like kind of.
He's kind of just over everything from the beginning of the movie. Even.
Yeah. And so like that stuff came across fine.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay.
But I don't know. Did you see the resemblance? Because I think they look alike too. Vincent Gallo and Joaquin Phoenix. I don't know. They reminded me of the same. Because I'm looking at even like the poster for the film with like he has his glasses down a little bit, his sunglasses. And I don't know. It almost looked like Joaquin Phoenix in that picture in particular. So anyway, I don't know what he did in 2009, what films he did, but it would have been, I think, a perfect casting choice. But I also then the other person I wanted to talk about, is Miranda, who you mentioned. So this is the girl from Pan's Labyrinth, right? I thought she was great in this too. I really liked her. She's very sweet and had like a warm presence to her. And immediately off the first scene, even like you said, the way she comes across and her relationship with, what is the older brother's name? I had
Tetro.
Right, he goes by Tetro now. Yeah.
Oh, it's Angelo. They call me.
Yeah.
They call me Angie though sometimes.
Yes. So like her, like interaction with him and their dynamic, but then immediately how she is with Alden Ehrenreich too. I'm blanking on his name too. I had it down. Benny. Okay, yeah. So Benny and Tetro, mainly what? Yeah, but yeah. So I thought she was.
Yeah, no,
she was really great.
100%. Like she, I think.
Also, I just loved her accent.
Yeah, well, I think you like great. Both her and Alden Ehrenreich or Benny, whatever you. They both just had a good screen presence. Like there's just like a certain star quality about them. I think that they both had, when they, especially then when they were playing off each other, that was really good. That the other guy just didn't have the
Nope.
Vincent Gallo.
She also, with her voice, reminded me a little bit of Ana de Armas. Her voice in particular, not only the accent, but just the way she delivered her lines. Just reminded me of that, her a little bit. And other thing is just location wise, like I just mentioned a little bit ago, like Buenos Aires, I think is an awesome location to set this film in and really help with, like I said, the vibe of it, which is what I really liked about the film. And made me really want to travel there too. I was like, this looks awesome. If it really was filmed there, it seemed, I mean, to me,
Yeah.
I imagine that they filmed it there, but yeah, really cool setting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Just, I don't know. I really liked the dynamic of the generational trauma stuff that they were dealing with. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like the older brother basically, you know, feeling the pressure to living up to what his dad had, who his dad was, that he just basically collapsed under that and just gave up and
Yeah.
was hiding out in Buenos Aires. But then of course the younger brother always looking up to him, kind of why I guess one of the reasons he didn't want to stay around him. When he shows back up, it's like he starts to slowly, you know, work his way back into his life and theoretically like inspire him to get back to caring about life. And so,
Definitely. Yeah.
I also think there's the interesting dynamic of that with also Tetro not wanting to be like his father, but then basically being like his father.
Yes.
Like just repeating the same things until the end, obviously. But
yeah,
just
I think it was cool. Like about halfway through the film, because I only have a couple more notes, but it was really cool because you're talking about the father. I think it was a cool reveal, you know, to find out like actually how accomplished of a conductor was it, the father or the grandfather? Because I know the grandfather plays into it.
It was the father.
Okay, because the grandfather I know plays into it as well. But yeah, being this accomplished conductor and like very famous, and of course we get a lot more into that, and that sets up a lot of the ending of the film too. But that was really cool. The thing I didn't like, which they did a lot with the flashbacks, I don't know why they did that in color. It was very weird to me. So you didn't mind it?
It didn't bother me.
I thought it was jarring. Like it
didn't bother me because it
was also different.
Different aspect ratio.
Yes. Okay.
They also lit differently. I have notes about that later, but it didn't bother me. I think so. Traditionally, you do something so you can tell, right? But a lot of times it's more subtle because you have color and you have other color, and you can just kind of give it a different tone so it feels more retro. But when you're doing black and white, it'd be hard to keep it in black and white and still. I think it'd be harder to translate visually. It'd be like, oh, this is the stuff that happened in the past. So if they kept it always black and white, it'd be hard to do.
Yeah, but you still could. I mean, I'm assuming you could still light the scenes and keep it in black and white, and it would still be distinct enough, right, to be able to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, would it look a little different? Yeah, but like the distinctness is, I guess, where like how distinct would it be? And if it's all black and white, that makes it hard. It makes it harder to like for it to be visually happening. And then do you have to put a date every time you go back, or do you know like what that kind of stuff? But
yeah, that. I mean, definitely that would make it not as just well done of a film in general. Yeah, if you just because there were several flashbacks, and like, yeah, if you always put a date on it, yeah, that would make it less
just
what's the word, sophisticated, like so, and style wise with the film, so that, I mean, I understand that, but yeah, I don't know, I just didn't. Also, because I think the first one we see is the car crash scene, which obviously is very important to understand the family dynamic more, but yeah, it was just something weird. I think it was also just, I thought that was the weirdest one, but I think it's because that was the very first one we see. So it's like the very first color thing we see, and it was, a little strange. But I mean, obviously, I know necessary. All the flashbacks were necessary for developing more of the family dynamic and what happened to certain
gaps.
people.
Yeah, because you're basically like, why are we here?
Yeah,
and it's the whole kind of premise of the film. Like, why is the dynamic this right now?
Right,
and then they filling in those gaps.
Yeah, so I liked all of them. It's just visually is what I just thought was strange. So
okay, yeah, didn't bother me.
Okay,
didn't bother me. I liked another thing I liked they did in this film was played a lot with like the truth versus the adjusted truth in like the narrative of like their life. Like, I mean, there's the things that you thought were true, or like, again, the younger, Benny thinking this is what happened. And it's like, kind of like, yeah, because that's just what everyone's been saying is, happens. So his truth is very different than what reality truth was from his past, until he, discovering his brother's manuscript and started like reading, and then he starts to find the truth, but then still adjusting the truth for the final play that they end up writing. And so it's not really this, what happened, and it's, different.
Yes.
So it's like, changing history and the, how they tell it, about their family.
Yep. Yeah, that was good. I also just really, because I have only one other note about just one of my favorite scenes that was like early on, but I really love the ending part where they're actually out in traffic and all that. I thought that was great. That was a really cool part of the ending. That was my favorite part of that. And then I don't know how many more notes you have, because I only have one more thing.
Yeah. I don't have anything other than going to like cinematography, but
okay. So the other scene, besides, like I mentioned, like the stuff in the apartment, I think it was some of the best stuff, but there was a scene early on, it was just, I really liked a lot, where they're sitting outside in the cafe, and Anna from up above, wait, is it Anna?
Yeah. I mean, like there's the couple.
Anna and Jose. Yeah. And she starts yelling at Jose. And starts cutting up the Armani suit, which was like, that was painful to see. And but then destroying the guitar and all that. That was really great. And then I like how Tetro then says, no, they're actually very much in love. It's like, okay. Yeah. But I really like that scene.
It was, that was good. So I was just say, we could talk about the end. I did not think of this. Like, wasn't like, oh, it's really, he's the father.
Yeah. I did not think of that at all either.
Okay. So I don't know if that's a good thing. Like,
right. Like they didn't actually.
There was not any seeds planted to even like, I mean, once they say it, you're like, okay, I mean, that could fit the narrative as well. But it's like, to me, it wasn't like, oh, then when he said this, it meant this, or those kind of revelations you normally have when there's like a reveal like that at the end. Didn't really have that.
No. I mean, maybe if you watch it a second time, maybe it would make more sense, and maybe you would pick up on some of that stuff earlier on. But yeah, no, I don't recall anything. Yeah, like you said, like at the end when it happened, I was like, okay. Yeah, I couldn't really point to anything that was like you said, planting seeds or just foreshadowing anyway.
Yeah.
So,
And then did you catch, and this kind of leads into the other stuff, but they shifted the color here.
They shifted the color?
Shifted to color even at the end.
Oh, really? No. Wait, which scene exactly? They shift to color.
And like the final scenes and like the present time.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it had to have been, or maybe I just wasn't thinking about it. I mean, was it very subtle shift to color, or like how was it done?
I mean, it's not like it's subtle, but also it maintains the texture of everything from the black and white. So it's not as obvious as like the flashbacks because the lighting's still the same. It's still just goes to color. But yeah.
Huh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. That's awesome though.
Yeah, I guess it's maybe symbolizing the restoration and the kind of like clarity that they have in who they are in the relationship then versus where it was before and something like that. My guess.
That makes sense. Yeah. So this is at the very end, not the scene I was talking about where he's in traffic.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Because that's the one that like stood out to me, that scene in particular, and I was like, yeah, I don't remember.
No, that was black and white.
So very okay. So after that, gotcha.
Cool. Well, let's get into cinematography a little bit. I mean, we kind of been talking about it also a little bit because it's just hard not to in this film with the black and white and just different colors. But
you can go in this section because I don't have anything particular. I just thought the black and white photography overall was beautiful and the lighting was really nice.
Yeah.
Like I was just
it's very high contrast lighting.
Okay.
Especially when the brothers are like together talking, like in showing their, I think, the kind of the contrast in their dynamic of who they are.
Okay.
Because then sometimes some of the closer ups of Miranda, they had softer light on her. And probably bring out that softer, personality that she has. And how she kind of brings that to Tetro as well. Like that's one thing in a relationship. I was going to say something about that, but and just slipped out of my head.
There were some times in the apartment, specifically with shadow, that I thought was really cool how they played with that. Okay, so you're saying it's very high contrast overall, the lighting?
Yeah, like in general, yes.
Okay.
And the black and white stuff.
Okay, so what is that, just to compare to something we've seen before, like what is that similar to? Because I couldn't tell, I couldn't pinpoint it, and obviously you know a lot more about this, but I really liked the feel of it.
I mean, it's probably not that different than what you were talking about, the Coen Brothers film that we
the Man Who, or whatever it was called. Yeah, I guess it was some of that. It did actually remind me more of Ripley, though.
Yes.
Is it similar to that too?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, Ripley does.
I mean, it's like a location wise, obviously it's not the same location, but
yeah, being Italy versus
South America, right?
Yeah, South America
for Buenos Aires. Yeah.
Argentina, right?
I don't know. I feel bad that I don't know, but
I think so.
That sounds right. They'll tell us in the YouTube comments.
But I was trying, like the contrast is a lot more like Ripley.
Okay.
I think is a good reference. But yeah, you just have like a lot of dark blacks in the scenes and then whites, and
because this is different, I'm assuming, than obviously, and also with this other example I'm going to mention, it's in color, but I know you talk about a lot with oh man, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. One of your favorite cinematographers, but like
Roger Deakins.
There you go. How he does it's very soft.
Correct.
Lighting.
Correct.
I know you mentioned that a lot. He does that.
Yeah.
So is this kind of the opposite?
Yes.
Okay.
But they
because I don't know if I've seen him do anything black and white though, but that would be cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure he has.
He probably has.
Yeah.
He did some of the more higher contrast stuff. It wasn't black and white.
Yeah.
On a couple of the first couple Coen Brothers stuff that he did. But yeah, so they did tone it back for Miranda some, so it's like sometimes there's like a softer light on her.
Right, which is awesome because, like I mentioned before, like that matches perfectly with her personality and how she interacts with both the brothers.
But then the all the flashback stuff is in color. That stuff is all lit much more soft, and then even had like some glowy blooming in the highlights, and that normally that's just done with a filter and you put on the front of the camera.
Okay,
I don't know if that's what they did, because if they shot it really on film, they might have done it in some kind of, in the process. But digital cameras, like that's normally the there's filters you can do it after the fact in post, but to get it to look best, it's best.
Yeah, I imagine it probably doesn't look as good if you do it in post, as opposed to
no, it's much better just to do it with a filter on the lens. I think does that.
Okay, well that definitely makes sense, because not only obviously the jump to color, but it was a very, and maybe that's intentional, because I was saying it like it was jarring, like when it went to it. So that makes sense. So also even lighting wise, like you said, it's like complete opposite.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, cool. That's kind of the gist of what I had down for that. You got anything on the score and the music?
No, I actually was looking at my notes and I didn't write anything down, but I remember liking it. I like the main theme especially. I thought was great, which is what they started and ended. Which I'm assuming is the main theme. At least to me, that's what it sounded like. I really like that. There's not so much of it through a lot of the film, but that's the one that really stood out to me, was that main theme. I thought was really great. And I like this guy so far, because I liked how experimental, and this is a little experimental too, in a different way. But I really liked what he did in Youth Without Youth as well. So I'm very interested. Like I said last week, I'm very interested into how these last two movies are going to look, because I like how unique the cinematographer is, but also the composer.
Yeah.
Do you have anything about the music, or no?
No.
Okay.
I do remember, like, it wasn't anything super specific, but at the same time, I do remember being like, oh, there was a couple times I was like, yeah, it's nice.
Good feel to it.
Yeah. It had a good feel. All right, then, themes and messages. What do you think the overall message of this film?
I mean, family, for sure.
Yeah.
Specifically brothers, like Rumblefish. I mean, you could also draw parallels to Godfather in some ways as well. And I would say specifically how brothers are, their relationship into relationship with how they are with their father too. I think that's a big part of it as well. And also just generational secrets, I guess you could say. I mean, that's definitely, especially at the end.
Yeah.
That's my main thing with it. What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of, not something too different, but it just put the overall weight of family legacy and the struggle to define oneself outside of the inherited trauma.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think that's what he, Tetro or Angelo struggled with the most, was like just figuring out who he was, because he didn't want to be his dad, but he also so naturally could have become his dad. So he's just,
Yeah. That reminded me of the because I didn't write this down in my notes, but I thought it was interesting that because we see that scene in the club where they're putting on the play, and he's doing the lighting, and someone even says it like he's like one of the best in the area. What would we call that?
lighting tech or something.
Light tech, yeah. He's one of the best in the area. I thought that scene was interesting, and it was pretty funny how he kept stopping him, and yelling at him, being like, "This is terrible." Like he's yelling at him from like up there where he's only holding the light, and just kept saying, "He's like this play sucks." So yeah, we have anything interesting for
first
trivia?
Yeah.
Okay.
First thing up, Francis Ford Coppola claimed that this is the kind of film he set out to make as a young man before he was sidetracked by fame and fortune.
Okay.
In September of 2007, thieves broke into Coppola's home studio in Buenos Aires and stole all the electronics, including his computer with the film script, but it didn't affect the production. Anyone who's gotten robbed, it's always depressing. And I did lose some data. I didn't lose the script. They said the script is gone, but I have other copies of the script. Obviously, I had to send it to actors and stuff, so no. I was astonished that that got such news coverage. Coppola was attracted to Argentina as a location to set the film. I knew Argentina has a great culture, artistic, literary, musical, cinema tradition, and I like those kind of atmospheres very much because I usually find creative people to work with.
That's a good point. You definitely see, not only with music, but a lot of creative fields. Like it does seem like it's very rich culture in that area, Argentina. So I guess that confirms they did film it all there.
Yeah. And Coppola said in an interview, this was what he considers to be the most beautiful film he's ever made, and a very personal project.
Well, we know he likes talking about family for sure in a lot of his films. But I don't know if it's number one, but yeah, it's definitely high up there as far as visually, I think, definitely.
So originally, Coppola wanted Matt Dillon to play the title role. He
Bring back from Rumblefish, yeah.
Yep. He said due to conflicting schedules, he wasn't able to, but then Coppola realized it would have been too close to Rumblefish, which also starred Dillon. So after long search, he settled on Vincent Gallo for the little lead role.
Well, maybe if he kept looking, he could have gotten Joaquin Phoenix. Potentially.
There's a note about it being similar to Rumblefish, where it's mostly black and white with splashes of color here and there.
This one has way more color than Rumblefish, though, because that was like what, just the fish, and that was it.
Yeah, and there was something else.
Yeah, there was like one other thing. Yeah,
never had a full scene in color.
No.
It was just like a object in the scene that was color. Yeah. No, so according to the cinematographer, the flashback scenes were filmed in color, but treated to give a slightly faded texture. Usually we think about the past, we think about photos and home movies. So it's nice to preserve that feeling, even if there wasn't someone shooting there.
Yeah.
It says this was Coppola's first original screenplay since The Conversation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I wonder, because most of them were adapted from books.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of them.
Oh, it says one of Coppola's very early films, Dimension 13, was referenced in the film when the protagonist arrives at a prize ceremony carrying an axe.
Wow. Going back to the start. Well, this is obviously, like we've going through almost all of Coppola's films now. It's definitely hit or miss, but I think this is another one that a little bit of a hidden gem. Maybe I don't know how it was in 2009. And how it did.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember.
I don't
remember hearing about it, so it must have not done too much.
Yeah, but
because that's
yeah,
now
cool.
we're not too long ago. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I mean, it was a decent film. So
maybe we liked it more also because it's about brothers.
Maybe.
Although I don't think it really correlates well with you. You're not really like Tetro, and I'm not really like
No. No. Yeah. But family dynamics.
Yeah.
So let us know what you guys thought of this. If you have seen it, let us know. Feedback. You can email it at feedback@screentimepod.com or leave a comment or message on YouTube, podcasts, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Yes.
All these.
We say the next film.
Yep. And I was saying,
okay.
So our next movie is Twixt. I guess.
Yes.
If you say that extra T.
Yeah. Twixt. Yeah, not Twix.
Not to be confused with the candy with the caramel nuggets, the crunchy cookie center.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. I haven't had a Twix in a long time.
I was just thinking George. Isn't there a Seinfeld episode about Twix?
Yeah, we in the car dealership. Yeah, and he's trying to get out of the vending machine. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so another one I've never heard of.
Nope.
So we'll see.
No idea.
See where that one lands. But yeah, so we'll if you'd like to follow each of us on Instagram, you can follow me at jyoungbar.
And I'm at Jared Youngbar.
Right. So we'll catch you guys next time.